42. It's a 90s child. Growing up rough and tough and dealing with like hardship was normal. Like Jiu-Jitsu just kind of keeps you in that mindset. Figure it out or you're gonna lose.
You kind of hopped in with your kids. How do you feel like you've seen it help them?
There are certain mental barriers that a child with autism has. His personality, everything's changing. He's got this confidence. He's actually more affectionate. I don't know what it is about Jiu-Jitsu for someone that's on the spectrum. I don't think it's a coincidence that all the greats are on the spectrum.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
know?
Yeah. Welcome back to Jiu-Jitsu Outlet. I'm here with one of the members at Jiu-Jitsu Outlet, Mr. Kris Lumby. What is up, dude? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So man, I know like you've been training Jiu-Jitsu now like 3 or 4 months. Just got your first stripe. You just did your first Jiu-Jitsu tournament. And I just love to ask you the question I ask everyone on the show, which is like, how do you feel this training has helped your mental health?
I feel like I've done more rediscovery actually getting in Jiu-Jitsu because I'm 42. So like as a 90s child, growing up rough and tough and dealing with like hardship was normal. That was like an everyday part of life. You dealt with your bullies, you dealt with kids challenging you, you dealt with just being, it was like more of a push around culture. And slowly that's been phased out, phased away. 90s kids were built different because every day you had to deal with that challenge. You couldn't run from it. You just had to deal with it because if you ran from it, then you got called even worse names. I feel like with Jiu-Jitsu, it kind of like, I rediscovered that, how can you say, that persistence that, hey, I have to deal with this. There's no putting that off. There's no saying, yeah, I can't do this. Maybe I don't want to do this. It's like, you better do it. You know, like you have no choice when someone's like smothering you. Either you're going to tap and feel like you gave up or you're going to fight your way out of it. You know, like it's just like Jiu-Jitsu just kind of keeps you in that mindset all the way through. Like, hey, you got to figure it out or you're going to lose, and nobody likes to lose, you know? Yeah, I feel like it's offered a lot of rediscovery on these primal primitive senses and drives and sensations, things I just, you know, I actually feel like a lot of people have forgotten, to be honest with you.
Yeah. How do you feel like that has kind of helped your life off the mats, like tapping into that primal side of you, kind of getting more in touch with like, I guess the harsher realities of life? Like, what do you see that doing for your life off the mats? Maybe let's start with like your relationships maybe.
Your brand is Jiu-Jitsu Outlet. And I think that word outlet is an understatement in the sport and in your brand as well, because as an entrepreneur, I deal with people all the time. And dealing with people all the time actually doesn't give me a lot of mental and emotional real estate for like the people closest to me, like the kids, the wife, you know. They get the lowest bandwidth. And it's not fair. I hate it. But having this as that outlet, like I can go and tap into that primitive man and unbottle all those little nuances and negative feelings and just weight. It's actually the best way to describe it. It's mental and emotional weight that a man carries, especially if you're an entrepreneur. I have a place to dump it. And then I felt like my bandwidth for the people that matter has gotten a lot bigger. And it's weird. I'm also less tolerant of the things I don't have to tolerate in business anymore. I've always been a very how can you say, no nonsense guy. But this has taken it to a whole different level. It's like it's woken something up inside, and I'm like, did I just say that? I did say that. I'm gonna roll with it, you know?
Yeah, like you're more comfortable with confrontation, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, you know, Jiu-Jitsu kind of helps you realize that, hey, that's okay. It's like a part of life. Like, I think people are running from that, you know, in so many ways. It's not, you know, it's on every level. It's from the work level to the school level. Everyone's being taught avoid confrontation. You know, like conflict resolution nowadays is, oh, if someone's going to hit you, swear at you, spit at you, you just turn the other cheek and you deal with it, or you try to talk it out. And I think we're getting so inundated with that we're just carrying so much unnecessary weight.
Yeah.
And Jiu-Jitsu just kind of like takes that programming and kind of throws it out the window and reminds you, hey, you don't have to deal with the crap. You shouldn't deal with the crap, because when you let the weight out, you feel better.
One of the things that I've really respected about you is you kind of hopped in with your kids because you wanted to give your your kids this sort of introduction to, hardship. I think the first time we ever talked on the phone, you were like, I want them to know what it's like to get hit in the face and roughed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think we've succeeded with that. But yeah, Tyler just went and did his first tournament, came up with a triangle choke on the fly.
Yes.
How do you feel like you've seen it help them since they've started?
So my youngest has been the most passive. We'll start with him. And I felt like he's very soft-natured. And I think this right here has allowed him to start tapping into those senses of, hey, I am a little stronger than I thought I am. Like it's a self-discovery. Like that's something that jiu-jitsu offers, is a lot of self-discovery. And for young kids especially, I've noticed that through mainly weeks of doing this, his confidence has gone up. The way he deals with his siblings has absolutely changed. He's no longer a victim.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nah, he's that victim mentality is something I've noticed with at 9 and 10 years old, is almost like beaten into their generation. And jiu-jitsu has kind of like, again, like it's taking that programming and like throwing it out. So he doesn't have a victim mentality. Now he's just kind of like, dude, stop pushing me around, to a 16-year-old brother,
Yeah.
Tyler, he's 14 and he's autistic. Asperger's, high functioning, and I've always never treated him different. Like it was like, I don't care about autism. I'm gonna act like it's just a punchline I'm gonna forget about. And I've always raised him like a normal child. And there are certain mental barriers that a child with autism has, and I can tell you with certainty that a lot of those barriers are input through society and what school says they should feel like. And I've noticed in jiu-jitsu, naturally, he's just kind of like letting go, shedding like this cocoon of false virtue and false just ideas, and his personality, everything's changing. He's got this confidence. He's actually more affectionate. It's weird. Like, yeah, like he's always been distant physically. I've noticed that physical touch, not a big deal, like in a lot of ways.
That's awesome.
Conversation, like he's more talkative to just a random person now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is about jiu-jitsu for someone that's on the spectrum, but I don't think it's a coincidence that all the greats
Yeah.
are on the spectrum.
Oh yeah, for
You know?
sure. Yeah,
So-
no, and I mean that's really why I started this show and ultimately the academies, because that's me. I'm autistic, and like jiu-jitsu helps me remember to shower or eat food. Like on days where I don't train, at the end of the day, like yesterday was my day off training, and at the end of the day I was like, oh man, did it again. Like forgot to shower. The whole day went by, and I was like, I got a whiff of myself, and I was like, oh. Yep, their personal hygiene. I just forget, or food. Like I just will go the whole day without eating if I'm not training that day, because I just get in my own zone and go to autism land, as my wife calls it. And yeah, but jiu-jitsu keeps me in the routine where it's like, even now I'm like, I got to wrap up this interview soon because I'm gonna have to teach the class at 7. But like, if not for that, I would literally sit here for an hour and I would just lose track of all time, because like, for me, I don't know, a lot of autistic people, it's like time's not really a thing. Personal hygiene's not really a thing. Just other people are not really a thing.
Yep.
And then jiu-jitsu kind of puts it into right in your face, like, oh no, there's this person right in front of me. And oh no, I've got to be there on time for training. And if I don't shower, then they're not going to let me train. And if I don't eat on time, then I'm not going to be able to digest the food in time to go to practice.
Yep.
And it's like suddenly you're in this good routine, and it's crazy. But it's like training. I depict it as like training wheels for the rest of life, especially for autistic people, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I think because someone who's autistic, they need to know what's next almost. Like there's like their pattern recognition is like, unparalleled. Like they know what's next, they know what's coming, and as long as they know what's coming, they know what to do with it. And I think with jiu-jitsu, just the art itself exercises that part of the brain to where, okay, someone took me down, I'm feeling, here's what's next. Okay, here's what's next, here's what's next. It allows that part of the brain for anticipation.
Yeah.
Because anticipation, I noticed with Tyler, is like he'll ask me every morning, "What's the plan for today? What are we eating? What's for breakfast? What's for lunch? What's for dinner?" We haven't even ate yet, you know.
That's
Like,
awesome.
it's just like he's anticipating the entire day, and I think this has allowed him. I think anyone on the spectrum allows them to exercise that
Yeah.
to a whole new level. Because I mean,
Yeah.
once you're on the ground, the possibilities is endless. And someone who has a brain like that is probably already 20, 30 steps ahead of you.
Yeah,
You
and they
know?
love it. It's like
Yeah.
it like scratches that itch in your brain where you get to go all the way down the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
and then you realize like, there's more. It's cool. It's great. So man, I wanted to ask you something else too. Like I know you've been really successful in business over your career. What do you feel like jiu-jitsu offers the entrepreneur in terms of helping them in business, whether it be, I mean, we talked a little bit about relationships, but like I just like to go a little deeper on that. Like, how do you think it would help business owners?
Jiu-jitsu and entrepreneurship, in my opinion, are like one and the same. It's entrepreneurship is a fight every single day. And with entrepreneurship, if you want to, if you're looking to say, you know what, I made 7 figures, I want to make 9 figures next year. It's like saying in jiu-jitsu, hey, I want to train for a world title. You have to bring yourself to a dark spot. You have to dedicate. You have to have discipline. You have to fight. You have to eat the punches, roll with the punches. And jiu-jitsu gives you this platform to go and exercise all those things and strengthen all those things. How can your stress management, anger management, how well can you sit there, your anticipation skills, your planning skills. Jiu-jitsu is actually a lot of planning. Like if you have a toolkit and you're like, okay, I have an arsenal, and to start using these tools, I have to do X, Y, Z. Just like with entrepreneurship, if you have a business that's dealing with retail, okay, you know that your source of income is clothing, and you have to get that sold, you have to do X, Y, Z. So I mean, I feel like jiu-jitsu will take any entrepreneur who is mentally and emotionally struggling with strength especially, and basically take you, quoting one of my favorite books, Fight Club, you go from a wad of cookie dough to a solid piece of oak.
I love
you
that
know?
book. I love
You know?
that. That's one of my favorite stories too.
Yeah. So Tyler Durden, so nicely said that about Fight Club.
It's so true. It's so true. One of my favorite quotes from that movie is when he says like, yes, these are bruises from fighting. Yes, I'm okay with that. I'm enlightened. I think about that a lot. Like walking around after you get a black eye from jiu-jitsu or something. It's fun.
Anytime you get hurt, slammed, choked out, I've almost went out twice so far in training. Anytime those strange things happen, I swear it's like a moment of enlightenment.
It is. It is. It feels like it, like when all of time stops. Like that's what I've always heard from studying spirituality, is that enlightenment, whatever that is really the same as they call in Zen the state of no mind, or the state of no state, where it just is. And it's like this period of timelessness where you kind of lose track of time, and you're just kind of caught up in that moment where your brain is kind of just one with the experience. And you can have that doing all sorts of stuff, but I think that's what they refer to as like Zen, basically, is that space. And yeah, for me, I find it a lot when someone's like about to submit me and I'm like desperately trying to get out, and then maybe you get out, maybe you don't, maybe you reattack on them, and now you're turn the tables. And that's where I find a lot of like that Zen. I don't even want to say happiness, because it's not happy. It's like a state of just total being that I think we all secretly crave.
I have to say, I actually find joy in those
Yeah,
spots. Like,
yeah.
I know like getting submitted it's a crappy feeling sometimes,
Yeah.
especially when you're giving your all. But when you're in that fight, in that last moment, there's a joy.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's weird. I actually try to explain it to my wife. Like,
No, it's true.
you find joy in those moments whenever you're accessing everything you can internally to turn that one situation around.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it hurts, it's just, I don't know. There's joy in that. It's weird.
Yeah.
People are gonna think, wow, you guys are a bunch of sadists.
We've talked about that on the show before, actually, like the connection between jiu-jitsu and like kind of what you're talking about, where it's like you enjoy this feeling of almost dying, where it's almost like a euphoria of sorts that comes over you. And yeah, it's like, it's weird, but it really does feel, like you said earlier, like very primal, where you're like, oh man, I could die here. And jiu-jitsu kind of helps you tap into that, but in a safe space where it's like there's padded rooms, hopefully you're doing it with safe people. And yeah, man, I'm just really glad that it's helped you out so much, that you've gotten all the benefits. Cause like, yeah, I've just honestly, like, you seem like you kind of become a more peaceful version of yourself since I first met you. Like,
My wife has said the same exact thing. She's like, you have gotten so much more mellow.
yeah,
And it's because I just have a place to let everything out.
yeah,
And my best part is like, if you have good training partners, like I have the training part, my two favorite training partners, those Adam and Lucas, because they don't take anything personal.
yeah,
They're like, you want to let it all out? Let's do it, especially Lucas. And by the time you're done, like you can barely walk, you've been slammed, you've been choked, you've been armbarred, but you got a smile on your face.
yeah, you feel great.
I'm just like, all right,
It's awesome.
I'm ready to go home, go to bed. I'm good,
It's awesome, man. Well, I think it's time for some more of that because, yeah, we got to get to practice. And yeah, man, thanks so much for coming on this show. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap this up?
Honestly, like you were talking about the Zen thing, I think people are too scared of pain. I think pain is something that people have got to stop running from. Like I've learned to embrace it, even through as an entrepreneur. Like you want to find growth, you want to discover who you are, what you're made of, where you can go, and just pain. Don't run from it. Don't yield to it. Just embrace it. Like with jiu-jitsu, every aspect of jiu-jitsu offers pain somehow.
Yeah.
Whether it's mental, emotional, or physical.
Yeah.
But the more you embrace it, the more you become the guy like you who's choking everyone out.
Yeah. Well,
just,
some people.
Well, I mean, but it's just
Some of
you have there gives you a strength. You acquire a strength
Yeah.
through that endurance. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just all the way through life. Life is like that, and I think, like you were always saying, I think everyone needs jiu-jitsu, and
Oh, yeah.
I actually feel like it's one of the last frontiers that offers that. Because, like, I watch a couple boxing gyms. I've seen a couple of karate gyms. And like when I told you about Tyler, I didn't have any interest in that because the family karate styles now and the schooling now, it just seems so passive, seems so safe.
It is. It's very, they don't do as much live sparring. I mean, really, that's it. Like, and there's jiu-jitsu gyms like that too, where they might, where they might do, I've been at them before. I won't name any names, but there's some in Missouri that I've visited, but where they, basically do like 15 minutes of warm up, and then we're going to do like 40 to 45 minutes of technique. And then at the end, we're gonna roll, but it's gonna be like 3-minute rounds or something like that. And then it's like, all right, see you Wednesday. That's it. And it's like they don't really do a lot of live rounds. They might roll, and they don't do a lot of positional games or anything like that. They just drill. And yeah, it's no good. Like we've talked about it on the show before, how like if that's your training style, you're basically just doing self-defense kata. Like you're just a traditional martial art at that point. Like you are now officially old, McDojo karate or kung fu or whatever. Like this, it's now in the same category where it's like you can't be doing that and be thinking that you're training people how to fight. Yep. Like we could call that martial arts. Like it's martial arts in the same sense that like you're not running a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you are running a martial arts academy under the law, but like, you're not really teaching how to fight. You're doing something else, like,
But you're missing the most important.
You're missing it, yeah.
The elements of that, and that's that mental and emotional gain. Like, there's so much to gain by having that full contact where you're like at the end of class, saying, all right, guys, we're going live.
We're going. Yeah. And what I always tell people is like, we're not going to like say, oh, you got to match up with everyone. And if you don't feel like rolling, like great, like that's fine. Mm-hmm. Like my neck's a bit sore. I'm probably not going to roll much today. Like, yeah, if you come in and you're feeling like, man, not today, like great. No one's going to force you to fight someone. but it's there if you want that. We're there for an hour, you know, or whatever. Like we'll go, I'll roll for till I'm blue in the face, you know, like I'll go with one person 5 or 6 times if they want to keep rolling, you know, and like and the reason I do that is because that's what my teachers did for me. Like my coach Renee in Germany would just beat the piss out of me. And there was no easy roll. There was no day where I magically just like, it was easy that day with him. Like it was brutal war every single time. He would just put it on me. And every good coach I've ever had does the exact same. So I'm like, well, guess that's what I'll do too, you know, to a certain extent. Obviously you got to take care of people, especially when they're new, but yeah, you got to get into the realism of it.
A good coach will use their worst to extract your best.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
But that's a concept that's also dying.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
People are too scared of that. A good coach will use their worst to extract your best.
Yeah, man, that's a good way to put it. Well, dude, that's a good place to end it, I think. But we got to go train and put it on each other. Have a good time.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you, Kris. Appreciate you. And yeah, let's go get a workout in. Have fun.